Hello everyone, my name is Hannah Esqueda, and I'm honored to be sharing a few thoughts with you today. When I first read this prompt, I immediately thought about the dual power of growth and grounding, how we can expand into new spaces, challenge old norms, and still carry with us the core values that shape us. It's not always easy, but it's absolutely possible and completely necessary. I grew up in Southern California, raised in a multi-generational Latino household steeped in warmth, resilience, and quiet sacrifice. In our home, we believed in hard work, in helping our neighbors even when we had little to give, and in honoring your word. But we also carried the weight of cultural silence, especially surrounding topics like mental health. I lost my father to mental illness when I was 8 years old, and for a long time, I believed that kind of pain had to be endured in silence. It wasn't until I reached higher education that I began to understand grief, healing, and mental health in new ways, and I realized that expanding my knowledge did not mean abandoning my values. In fact, it meant deepening them. As a first-generation college student, every classroom feels like a new terrain. I studied cognitive neuroscience, biology, and music humanities at the University of California, San Diego. Most recently, I entered a Master's of Science program in biology with a neuro focus at Arizona State University. I found myself in research labs exploring cognitive rehabilitation, in classrooms discussing systemic inequities, and in communities leading bilingual workshops on storytelling and healing. In each of these places, I encountered people from vastly different backgrounds. People whose experiences, beliefs, and approaches challenged my own assumptions. But instead of losing myself in these paces, I learned to listen with openness while staying anchored in compassion, curiosity, and integrity. Values, I believe, aren't static. They're active practices. They're ways of showing up in new environments with honesty and humility. One of my proudest projects was co-leading a workshop where participants explored how cultural memory was encoded through music. We combined neuroscience, oral history, and protest songs from the Chicano movement in order to illustrate how healing and identity can intersect in both science and storytelling. Participants created memory soundtracks. They were able to use these to reconnect with family legacies that they had not fully understood before. That experience was a turning point for me. It proved that innovation doesn't mean starting from scratch. It means reimagining tradition, combining the old with the new, and honoring your roots while building new wings. My values didn't hold me back. They became a blueprint for creative thinking, meaningful engagement, and ethical action. As I continue my journey, working towards an MD, PhD, and designing a neuro wellness center grounded in culturally responsive care, I found myself constantly revisiting this question. How do I carry my family, my community, and my convictions into rooms that weren't built for people like me? The answer? With purpose, with preparation, and with the understanding that expanding into new spaces is not about dilution, it's about integration. We bring who we are into what we do. We ask tough questions, uplift overlooked stories, and plant seeds in unfamiliar soil, knowing that our values will take root wherever we let them grow. Like Nicolet law, whose growth has been guided by principles of compassion, trust, and service, my own expansion into new disciplines and communities is always shaped by a values-first approach. Whether I'm in a neuroscience lab or facilitating a community workshop, I strive to treat people not as data points or case studies, but as neighbors with unique histories and hopes. This Midwestern mindset of showing up fully, listening closely, and doing good even when no one's watching resonates deeply with how I move through the world. And every step of this journey, I've learned that staying true to yourself does not mean staying the same. It means evolving with intention. Carrying your values with you is what makes growth sustainable, impact meaningful, and innovation ethical. So no matter how far I go, I'll continue showing up with my roots intact and my vision clear, ready to learn, ready to lead, and always ready to serve. So whether you're entering a new job, a higher institution, or a new community, remember this. Honoring where you're from is not a limitation, it's your anchor. It gives you clarity to explore with intention, the confidence to innovate with heart, and the wisdom to serve with integrity, just as Nicolet Law Offices continues to serve their community. Thank you for the opportunity.